Stay away from these Asian men. So in this video I'm going to be telling you some very key information about which kind of Asian men you shouldn't be taking into consideration and why. First of all, this video is dedicated for ladies, but if you're a gent, I'm sure that perhaps you can also relate to these stories, especially if you already had this happen to you in a different modus operandi, because how they scam girls is different from how they will scam a gent. So are you guys ready? Give this video a thumbs up and let's continue. Also let me know where are you watching from. First of all, these Asians, because we are very unsure on whether they are Asians or not, and we have some suspicious information about being some African people playing Asian, because Asian is like hyping all around the world, like BTS, K-pop, K-drama. So ladies all around are kind of falling for Asians. So because they are hot and popular, they kind of like act as if they were the ones in those handsome Asian pictures. But in reality, perhaps they are not even from Asia. Okay, first of all, these kind of men are the ones that offer to send you like very expensive and luxurious gifts without even getting to know you in person first. Like, for example, branded bags and shoes, like big brands, let's say Gucci, YSL. Okay, don't take it that, how to say, it's just this kind of brands that usually if you are not very familiar with that someone will not be given this kind of gifts. And they will use videos and pictures that usually, of course, aren't real. They just take them from the internet somehow and they send it to you through the app that you and him are having communication. Can be WeChat, can be WhatsApp, or like dating apps. And these girls usually come to me because I have a Spanish channel where I will be telling all these stories and will be asking me, why is that this guy is charging me for like this present? I will talk in a minute about that. But anyhow, these girls, usually Spanish speakers or Latinas from all around the world, will be very curious about why is that these gents, really handsome, amazing, good-looking Asians, like at least in their socials or pictures, are sending them very expensive gifts that usually here, even if you have a boyfriend, will be not that common to receive. Yes, I was previously saying in another video where I talk about Chinese vs Mexicans, how sometimes Latinas have very low self-esteem and they don't feel deserving, which is not a great thing. Like, not falling into being materialistic, but let's just say it. If you are looking for a man, you need to have a well-established man that is willing to take care of you and the family and is not just a player. So being too emotional, as one mentioned in the comments, is not the best attitude to have, especially with Latinos. Anyhow, continuing with the story. So they feel very flattered because this man had spent so many thousands of dollars in these gifts that they will like almost or perhaps never have gotten before. And then they will tell them, these girls, that they will be sending these gifts through like mail or UPS, FedEx, DHL, whatever kind of delivery service, express service, so that they will receive an email and with their own tracking number as well as like main information. So these girls, once they receive this information, they also receive a link in the email stating that they have to pay for the like liberation of the goods, because it's kind of considered an import as like import service because the goods are coming from abroad. And yeah, they will be located. Let's say if they find a girl in Mexico, maybe this guy will be saying he's in Europe or he's in the USA or he's elsewhere. So therefore, if you want to receive these goods, you need to pay to like the quotation to get these goods liberated from customs. Because as long as you don't pay, you will not get your gifts. And they are very expensive. So you will have to bear with the kind of self pressure of like knowing that he spent so much in your gifts and you don't want to pay for them. That's like mean and unrespectful. Of course it's not. I'm just being sarcastic. All this is a scam. Next. And these girls, some of them at this point, they will come and look for some information online, and therefore will find my channel, my Spanish channel Marcarib. As I mentioned, if you don't know about that channel, I can link down below so you can go and check out. Usually these videos will be posted. I have a lot of live streams and just recorded videos where I will be storytelling their own stories, but I talk very broadly about that. I have been telling a lot of stories, and it's usually the same thing. Okay, so some of the girls will arrive to my channel and will be just checking the information, one story after another, after another, after another, and so they will start to be suspicious about how come these stories all kind of sound alike, how come this guy is there, how come they're sending these gifts. Oh, it's just like myself and my case, and they will just realize the whole thing. But some other girls that fall into this trap, they will, out of pressure or out of love, like some mentioned here, Latinas are so emotional. Yeah, they are too emotional. I myself consider myself previously too emotional. Not for our advantage. That is nothing for our advantage. We should be a little bit colder, just like the Chinese. Not as cold, as I was mentioning also, like the childbirth and the child not having come to this life in that video because of the coldness of their thinking. We are not that cold, but sometimes we are too warm, to be honest. And as I previously mentioned, it's not for our advantage. They can easily take advantage of our warmth. Anyhow, some of these girls will end up paying for the goods to be liberated, and this quote or this like fee will round any amount of like hundreds of dollars. Usually it's like hundreds, not like really thousands. But the other scam that I mentioned that usually applies for men, it's about thousands. But that is another scam, which is called like Bitcoin or like investing in an APP to get money. If you guys know what I'm talking about, let me know in the comment section, please. And if you do want to listen these kind of videos regarding how gents around the world are being scammed by beautiful Asian ladies, we can talk about that. Especially if you have been scammed, if you are one of them, or if you were almost scammed, you can leave us your story down in the comments, so for us to rely on that story for the video to have like more support. I have a lot of stories from my Spanish fans, I mean Spanish speaking gents, like not precisely from Spain, but from anywhere around the world, because also I get a lot of stories from men, not just girls. But as I mentioned, the kind of scam is kind of different, because usually these men will not be receiving expensive gifts, but they will be asked to invest. Yeah. Okay, next. So what happens with the girls that pay? Well, they don't get any gift, and it pretty much ends there. Or maybe if you have been one of those girls, you can let us know in the comments. How was your case? What ended up happening after you pay? But as far as I know, whenever they pay, some of them, they just really few of them pay. They are just very curious why he stopped answering, or where is the gift, or what happened. Maybe ghosted her, disappeared, stop answering. Okay, and the other ones will be just discovering my channel, listening to the stories, and also sharing with me their own story. They love to share their stories, really. So if you want me to share more stories here about not just scams, but business also, maybe we can talk about business scams or any kind of China-Mexican scams. I believe also Mexicans are very scammy. I have some stories, just as a bracket here, or as a parenthesis. I don't know how to call it. In Spanish, it's like that, like, let me just make this point and we will continue. I have been scammed 3 times here in Mexico, like in the past 4 years, from Mexicans, whereas I was in China like 10 years. Okay, this is just insane, crazy, and I'm very angry for my own people, but that's the way it was. I'm gonna be sharing with you such stories in the coming videos. So what is next? Okay, these girls, which will usually be meeting these gents, Asian, beautiful faces, handsome, good looking, very rich, overall very rich, wealthy men, in like social media, like Instagram, sometimes Facebook, parejas, Facebook, like, I don't know how it's in English, like Facebook dating, and some other apps, like dating apps, and Instagram. They will post these pictures where they look super handsome, and of course the profile is just fake. It's just newly done, has a few pictures, very few descriptions. It just looks so fake, because he's just there hanging out in a yacht, like spending all his money, like has nothing else to do, because he's bored of being rich and lonely and very handsome, which is just so unlikely. I mean, there must be some very good looking, handsome, wealthy, good men out there that are alone, just like myself here. I'm joking, but not joking. And it happens that they just fall in love with these Latinas around social media. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying like it's impossible or they don't deserve this kind of men, or it's just being like disrespectful to these girls, that why would I be comparing, they are not deserving of such men. No, but it's just very, how to say, just very not logical. Anyhow, I'm telling you from my experiences. I have so many stories, and whenever you are telling the story, it's funny because it's just so obvious, but they don't want to see it. I myself, okay, let me be honest here, I myself was one of those victims. Okay, I was caught. When was this? I believe it was 2021. I was here in Mexico. I didn't go back to China. I was kind of missing China. I didn't have many friends here. So I decided... No, I didn't decide nothing. I was just posting in Instagram. Suddenly I received this like, hello, and so on and so forth. It was a kind of chit chat. You're so beautiful. Can I get to know you? This and that. And I was like, who is this one? And all of a sudden, I don't know at which point I agreed to like get to know him. I like sent him my WhatsApp private number, and we started communicating through WhatsApp, like text messages. And he will be sending some pictures, like his photo of himself, selfies, small videos around like his daily life. And he was supposed to be a pilot from Marbella, Spain. So he was so very handsome, like seriously, it was just my dream kind of man, like very good looking, with small beard, blue-green eyes, olive eyes, tall, good. I don't know, he was just very good looking. And I fall for that, like seriously. Of course he's not that pilot, he's just impersonating that person. The profile of the pilot, as far as I know, got closed by himself because somebody stole these pictures and these someone's or someone was using them for, this kind of purpose, just to let girls know about him, let them fall in love with him, and just try to scam. So what happened next? I remember even that it was February, like St. Valentine's. He's like, oh, happy St. Valentine's. He was not very warm, but whenever he sends pictures and videos, I was like, oh my God, how could I get this lucky? I'm just so silly, you see? Just this is the kind of example I'm trying to communicate with you guys, so for you to understand why is it that I'm saying that this story sounds so illogical. So he supposedly was there. I was in Mexico. We just chatting WhatsApp, no video call, no call, and we will chat very like a few words through the day, like good morning, good night, how are you? He will send some like text, and that's it. It was no longer after maybe a few weeks that this woman came to me. Sorry, it was 2020. Listen why I corrected and why is it that I know. And she's a beautiful woman from the Philippines. Like, she was older than me, but beautiful. Suddenly she shares with me, you know this pilot? And I'm like, yeah. Okay, I want to warn you. It's just a scam. He's impersonating someone else, and that someone else closed his profile. And he's trying to cheat girls in order to get some money out of them. So supposedly this one person was like looking for accounts that of girls or women that somehow looked a little bit wealthy. I'm not saying my profile looked like that, but to some extent, I guess he could see by my pictures that I was traveling in China. At that time, I posted pictures. It was early 2022, like February, when St. Valentine's. I was posting pictures about me going to Sanya. You guys remember? I don't know if I ever posted such videos here, because I did record some videos for my English channel, but somehow when COVID hit, I felt it was not appropriate to be posting like fun videos about China, because first it was closed, and second, people were like having a bad time here and there. So it was not matching the scenario around the world. So I avoided posting such videos, and I believe I never got to post them. So I did posted some pictures in Instagram. Therefore, I kind of think he got the idea of me going traveling around the world, therefore having some money maybe. However, this lady was quite wealthy, and we ended up being friends to the extent that she ended up making an order from me, because I was really like the queen of how to say those masks, how to say I even forgot the name of the masks. However, those COVID protection masks, N95 was called. So she and her friend kind of associate together, collaborated in a business, and she wanted to put an order on my business. So she purchased like 1,000 or 3,000 pieces. So to that extent, it was a great thing that I met him, because if I didn't have met this guy, I couldn't have met her, and we still follow each other on Instagram. I really admire her. She's those kind of beauties like never age, you know? Hopefully I can be that kind of beauty. Doesn't mean like I don't go old, but they go old with grace, or the older they get, the more grace and beauty they exude somehow, maybe out of maturity. I myself think I speak different now than when I was speaking maybe like a younger self back to 5 years ago or something. Okay, this was the thing. After that, few weeks down the road, there were another few girls that contacted me, sent me a message telling me like, hey Mar, do you know this pilot? He's my boyfriend. And I'm like, and then I went to the profile of that girl. She was a Russian, very wealthy girl, and she was still thinking that he was her boyfriend virtually, like just because they were texting. Yeah, so the more you get to understand, the more you get to know why would I be thinking that these profiles are just not logical to have this kind of matches from someone around the world. However, this one there had somehow, I mean, they really look for specific profiles, because when I was telling the stories in my Spanish channel, these ladies, usually some of them do pay the fee, and they have money. They also come from, I don't know, good backgrounds, or somehow they post something yummy for them, so they believe they can get money out of them. So this Russian girl was looking really luxurious. Her lifestyle overall was like just so above mine. And this one Filipino woman told me like he scammed like 3 girls, and he sent me the profiles of the girls that he has scammed. One of them was this one, and even down the road some others started contacting me, and I was like, yeah, okay, I'm done with it. I stopped communicating with him. I know that he's a scammer. I don't want to deal with more explanations. And whenever they contacted me, I stopped answering them anymore. So this was just like this. But the funniest thing was like the Filipino woman was really kind of in love with him, but she felt weird. She discovered somehow by time, but she said like, the worst thing is like I fall in love with him, of course, because of his picture and all that. And it's very silly to say like you're in love, but at least you have some kind of illusion or some kind of desire for someone that you are not talking to, but you don't know, right? So every night he will be asking her to video call. And the most like suspicious thing, it was like he was never coming on the video. He was just on the phone wanting to see her, and she will be lying down with her like not PJs, but like that kind of like sexy robe, and he will be looking at her, enjoying her for like 1 hour. And she said like he became his really close someone, because at the end of every day at night she will be sharing with him everything that she did through the day, her desires, her feelings. And I was like, wow, this is crazy, because you don't even know who are you talking to, especially he doesn't appear in camera, but you are talking to him. They spoke like this for 2 months or 4 months. After that she realized it and she stopped. And she has this belief that somehow he also ended up liking her, because he didn't try to scam her, just the others. He didn't ask me for money either. But anyways, back to the situation. This is my own story. And I was so naive. So no more Instagram virtual long distance relationship or boyfriends. Okay. By the way, usually if they are Asians, I don't know if you're aware of this, but in Taobao, the Amazon of China, you can get to purchase stock footage and pictures of someone that there's a catalog of different faces, like women, men, different ages. So you can choose one face, and it says like it comes with like the 70 videos, 50 pictures. So you just purchase that. It was very cheap. When I look at that, it was like less than 100 RMB or something like that. So you will download all this material and be ready to go and open all the apps possible, dating apps, Instagram, social profiles, Facebook, etc., in order to have more chances to get more people into the situationship. And they will be working, I realized they will be working with a few or many at the same time. By the way, this kind of like modus operandi scam also went viral and had been, I believe so, a few times in the news in China. They caught like whole center, just was like an office, and a lot of people working there, just talking to like these victims, like me. I don't think this guy was a Chinese because he will speak with a UK accent. And of course his profile was not Chinese. So the one I'm saying or talking about is like the Chinese scam, the Asian scam. Some of them come from Thailand, Taiwan, China, Japan. I mean, we are not sure where are they coming really from, but I've heard that in China they have discovered these centers where they are just online talking to a few women regarding these love issues like I love you, I miss you, and trying to get something out of them. And I have a story. One of my followers, I need a bottle of water. One of my followers, one of the times, or a few times, there's been like 3 or 4 followers, girls, that share with me that whenever they ask them to appear, okay, one reveal like he was not Chinese. Sorry, I fall in love with you. I am from Africa, some country around Africa. And he showed his picture to her, and she was like, "Wah!" Because, no, don't take it wrong, huh? Just imagine you have been talking to this one like guy for a month, and suddenly he just takes off the mask. And it's just, what? So, yeah. Another girl also had the same kind of situation, and she was just very reluctant to cut off communication with him because somehow they became closer, although he was a scammer, right? Anyhow, so a few have been saying they are mostly located in Africa, but I'm not really sure about it. Maybe you do have more info about it. Still, I do believe that maybe there are some scammers from really mainland, but who knows? Their tactic is as follows. Once they cut you, just like my story, they will be like, "Hello, you look so beautiful," and they will just be kind of cocooning you into this, or like trapping you in this role of being beautiful to them, caring for you, saying good morning, how are you, all these things. So these women will feel like cared virtually somehow for this man and fall down in their trap of them being in love with them and them sending like expensive gifts to them. It's just very hilarious. So they're supposed to be in love with them, but this is how they work because it's usually like a full-time work for them. And yeah, usually how I will take my girls advise them is like ask anyone for a video call, therefore you can make sure who are you talking to. Some of them, as soon as they ask for the video call, they will be like, no, sorry, they will disappear because they know they are already aware of the scam. And some others will be going as far as showing a pre-recorded video for the video call somehow. I don't know, use it like is him there saying some random words because you know at this point that so many Latin girls English, including myself, is not as fluid and it's not as okay. I don't include myself in this one because although I'm not fluid, but I think I can understand pretty well. And if he just comes to the video call and saying whatever, I will be very like hesitant on whether is he on the video call or is he just putting up overlaying a video. But them, they're not very sure because so many of them are using translator to communicate. So if he comes and he says hello my love, whatever, maybe they will be just following and believing still is him. Some of them whom understood, they realized that it was a video and it was not the guy. And some others will be like shown a pre-recorded video and after they will be putting off the call very fast. They will not be answering further questions. So they could also be telling by that somehow it was not real. So next time, you girls, if you are a girl listening, usually I think I have guys here. Let me know in the comments where are you from and if you're a girl or a gent, because I am very curious. Usually the ones commenting are just men. That's still okay. I love it. I mean, I don't know where are you following me, because it's very interesting. Yesterday someone from Australia was like, oh, I found you in my feed. I'm like, how? I'm so happy that I am getting that rich. So this was the gift scam detail for you, with experiences of my own and of my followers, and hopefully you didn't fall for that. If you're a lady, if you're a gent, maybe you fall for a scam that is about investing, which is another kind of modus operandi. But hopefully you learned something and enjoy the video. Leave me your comments down below. Give this video a thumbs up.